One of the most picturesque places in Seoul is Bukchon, the neighborhood located between Gyeongbokgung and Changdeokgung palaces, an area that was home to royal officials during the Joseon dynasty. I've talked about Bukchon before since it's in this northern village that you'll find Seoul's last enclave of traditional hanok houses. Hanok are typically single-story homes made of clay, wood, and stone with heated floors and curved tile roofs. There are about 800 of these gorgeous structures left in Bukchon. Among them, the Kilburn House, belonging to Englishman David Kilburn and his Korean wife Jade, is a beautiful example of one couple's efforts to preserve a vital piece of Korean culture. The 67-year-old Kilburn fell in love with the hanok when he came to Korea in 1988 to cover the Olympic Games. Shortly thereafter, he and his wife purchased a small plot located on a hairpin corner in Gahwae-dong, a name meaning the neighborhood where beauty gathers. Like most of Bukchon's hanoks, the Kilburn House dates to the early 20th century. The L-shaped house and a small addition surround a courtyard filled with potted orchids, flowering shrubs, small pools, and whimsical objects, like a ceramic duck amongst the water lilies. A sturdy wood railing was designed and built by Kilburn, whose composite masterpiece was inspired by traditional Korean architecture. The house itself has been carefully restored. Its lacquered wood, latticed windows and doors cover the walls of narrow corridors, whose interiors are covered in traditional hanji paper. The home's central room features a bright red couch where guests can enjoy the Kilburns' hospitality and love of tea. It's a peaceful indulgence to sit in the Kilburn home with a view of their courtyard garden, and yet the past 6 years have been anything but peaceful, as David and Jade have fought harassment by builders and neighbors and apathy from officials for their dogged efforts to preserve their home and neighborhood. Despite being designated a preservation district back in 1977, by 2000, only 2 streets in Gahwae-dong were lined entirely by hanok. In fact, as recently as March 2010, 2 more hanoks on Kilburn Street were demolished. Despite public pronouncements by the mayor to protect Seoul's hanok, the city claims no power to stop these demolitions. During the day, Kilburn's neighborhood is crowded by foreign tourists and Koreans curious about one of Seoul's last traditional neighborhoods. But at night, it's eerily dark and quiet, as most of the houses are vacant. Those families have long moved on, and the homes purchased by real estate speculators, awaiting the green light to replace the hanok with a multi-story modern home, or perhaps a zoning change so they can convert the house into a cafe or restaurant. Although time seems to be running out for Bukchon, increasing media attention and a growing interest in traditional Korean culture make David and Jade cautiously optimistic about their neighborhood's future. And given that 2 hanok villages were recently designated World Heritage Sites by UNESCO, it seems that Korea's unique architecture is no longer just a Korean treasure, but a piece of the world's heritage. That's it for this edition of Seoul Scene, but you can follow me on Twitter at Discover Korea. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Kelly.